What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm back here at Norm Reeves Honda of Port Charlotte, Florida with this brand new 2023 Honda Pilot Elite, which is the highest trim level. And after I've done the EXL and the Trail Sport, it's time for the flagship. So today we're going to take you on the full tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out, the exterior, interior, test drive the whole 9 yards. And if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt here on Matt the Carguy. I post 2 car reviews every single week. If that's the first time you see it, check out the rest of my channel, consider subscribing, and don't forget to leave me a like after you watch this video. For 2023, Honda redesigned this vehicle completely, and they squared it off much more than the previous generation. To make it look more boxy, more trucky. I don't want to say more manly, because girls like their trucks too, and probably most of the end users of these vehicles are probably going to be women. So let's take a quick look at it. It does have this nice front hood, nothing too crazy about it. Now all of the Pilots come standard with the LED lights, including of course the top of the line one, which we have right here, the Elite model. It does have the daytime running lights, completely new design on the lights as well. Chrome trim piece going all across this vehicle. It does have this front view camera with its own washing system in case it gets dirty. Huge Honda logo behind it. A lot of the Honda sensing technology hides all the safety features, and a lot of open spaces. You know, allows the air to get through of this piano black grille over here. Scrolling down to the side, you see the air curtains allowing the air to get inside and better aerodynamics. And then right down below you have a set of fog lights. Now this portion right here is matte black with this plastic that's painted in the polished aluminum. Now the engine is also new for 2023. Let's check it out. When you look on paper at first glance, it might seem the same because it's still a 3.5-liter V6, naturally aspirated. However, Honda redesigned the top end, making it dual overhead cam. Power output 285 horsepower, 262 foot-pounds of torque, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission, so no CVTs here. Now the only thing that I would definitely change in here would be getting rid of this prop stick in favor of the hood struts. Now it does have some sound insulation in here, so we'll see how nice and quiet it is. And here on the side you can definitely see how square this vehicle is. So you can see this nice flat hood, which I actually like, and then this looks like a proper SUV right now. It is big though. It is about 4 inches longer than the outgoing generation, at about 200 inches long. The wheelbase 113.8, so that also has been extended. It's going to allow more room for passengers in all 3 seating positions, which we're going to check out while on the interior. Now let's take a look at this wheel and tire setup. You have this 20-inch wheels that are standard on this Elite model, and I do like the design. It's kind of the gunpowder gray with silver, and it's dressed up in this Bridgestone Alenza. Tires 255 by 50 is the size of it. You do have a little bit of this black cladding around the wheels as well as at the bottom of the doors, and the same painted plastic is at the bottom as we've seen in the front end. Now the vehicle is of course equipped with the blind spot assist, the turn signal, the camera, the puddle lights right underneath the mirror, and it does have the smart entry system, so without pressing any of the buttons on the key I was able to lock it. In order to unlock it, simply stick your hand inside of the key, and it does have it on all of the 4 doors, so this is pretty cool as well. Now as far as the surroundings of the windows, you do have the matte black on top, chrome at the bottom, and of course the shiny black pillars, and it comes standard with the roof rails. Now you can see that it is nice and large with a lot of windows in here. Of course, the back end design changed as well, so you can see it's a lot more straight down than the previous generation one. It does have a gate spoiler, which is not very long. That's probably why they didn't hide that wiper underneath here. Third brake light LED, fully LED taillight setup. It does have the taillights, the brake lights, of course, and the turn signals, reverse lights in here. Pilot spelled out. There's this trim piece that kind of connects the two lights, and then you have the rear view camera over here with its own washing system. Again, if it gets dirty, all-wheel drive on one side, Elite on the other. Scrolling down here, you have the reflector lights, and you look at the exhaust. Well, they're fake, but you know, right over here, same thing again. This painted plastic over here. This one doesn't have a tow hitch, but if equipped with the all-wheel drive, it can tow up to 5,000 pounds. What it does have, though, it does have this hands-free entry system for the gate. So all you have to do is wave your foot underneath it, and this opens up. Check it out. And here's the cargo area with all seats up. So you can see definitely that it does have quite a bit of it, especially looking at from the side. Now you can close the gate. You do have the power outlet. Both of the seats fold down, as well as the middle seat, and right in here you can see this deep storage compartment. Now this storage can be used for pretty much whatever, but it's also designed to store that middle seat from the second row that is removable. Now if you want to fold down the seats, all you have to do is pull on it and push the seat forward. Now we have a set of floor mats in here, which I'm going to remove, and you can move these seats and fold them flat again. Now in the third row seat, you have your own vents. You do have your own power, which is the USB type A, as well as you do have the two cup holders, and that's on both sides. And also the middle seats can be folded down too. The middle seat can be removed. Now it would be nice if it was buttons, levers, anything like this in the back to help us do that. But in this case, you actually have to get inside and move it from the middle. And in case you were wondering, this is how much room you have in the back with all seats folded down. So quite a bit, to be honest with you, a lot more than on the previous generation one. And of course, many people will ask, well, how much room do I have in the middle seat? Let's check it out. Now, this seat is adjusted to the same position as the driver's seat, and that's adjusted to my regular driving position. I'm 6 feet tall, have plenty of knee room, plenty of shoulder room, and plenty of headroom, even with this panoramic sunroof that this vehicle has. Now, the seats are also adjustable in the back, so you can move in front and back. And if I move it all the way back, I have even more room in here. But I want to be nice to the passengers behind me, so move them like this and still have enough room. I'm going to jump in the third row seat, but before I do that, I'm going to show you something pretty cool. Well, if you're like me or many other families that are considering a midsize SUV, you might have kids. And if you have two child seats in the middle seat, having this seat in the middle makes access to the rear seat basically impossible. So what Honda has done is they actually give you the ability to remove this middle seat. And that's actually pretty easy to do. All you have to do is fold it down, pull on the lever up front, unlock the back part of the seat, and simply take it out. Now, what do you do when you take it out? Let me show you. So when you take this seat out, first of all, it's not very heavy, but all you do is you put it in this storage compartment that Honda prepared for you, and here it is. It fits nice and flat. This closes, is like nothing there. Before we get inside, let's check out this door panel over here. I do like this trim. I'm not sure what that is. It's kind of look like a 3D printed. It does have this polished aluminum trim over here. Manual sunshades for the rear passengers, which is really nice for extra privacy. And you do have a lot of soft plastic in here. You do have the soft armrest, of course. And other than that, you do have the door handle, of course, and the window control. A lot of storage in these doors. Like I mentioned on the other trims, Honda is really good about putting stuff in where you wouldn't even think so, like this thing right here. All right, so there's a little pocket inside of the bigger pocket, and that's basically for your cell phone, so you don't lose it. You don't have to look for it on the inside. Now let's check this out. In the console in the middle, you have the rear vents, and then you have your climate control settings. That includes, of course, the heated rear seats, outward rear seats, and then down underneath here you have your power station, and that is basically your USB type A ports and the regular household power outlet. And there's some vents down underneath there as well. And let's check this out. The seats are covered in a nice leather, different leather than you see on the EXL and the Touring trim. I do like the design of it. They also feel very nice and comfortable. And with the third row seat, or with the third seat right here folded down, you have this nice armrest with cup holders that of course can be folded up to be the third seat. And then how do you get in the third row? Well, all you have to do is press the button on the side of the seat right here or in the back, and that slides open, and let's get in. Let's see how much room I have. All right, I got in the third row seat. Let's see. When I move this seat back, let's see how far I can move it. I move it all the way. Yep, this is with the seat all the way back. Now I'm touching, but you know, I can move this seat another inch really easily and have a lot more room for the third row seat passengers, which is pretty comfortable. And I can't say that about many other mid-size three-row SUVs. Oh, and how do you get out? All you have to do is push this button right here. Boom, the seat moves forward. You can even push a little bit further. And I gotta tell you, there's this extra vent underneath it, which I haven't noticed. That's in addition to the vents that you have on the side. So the third row passengers can be nice cooled or heated as well. And let's listen for that sound of the closing door. Boom, that's pretty nice and solid if you ask me. Now what we have in front, basically same thing as in the back, with the addition of mirror controls and all four window controls, as well as the two memory seat settings for the seats. Now you still have a lot of storage. You do have the speaker down here. I don't see it branded on these speakers, but it does have the Bose stereo system. Of course, the driver and passenger seats are controlled electronically, and then you have them nicely contoured. And I gotta tell you, I didn't show you the details of it, but check this out. It does have this nice perforated leather on the sides. Now on the side over here, it's solid with this contrast tubing, contrast stitching. So very good design, in my opinion, very eye pleasing. Now let's jump inside and explore the rest of it. Here's the interior of this 23 Pilot Elite. Definitely it looks premium, it feels premium. I do like it, the overall look of this design. Check it out. You do have a nice soft touch plastic on the dashboard, and then right on the side you can see it's got the tweeters down here, or the speakers in the front. They're actually branded with Bose logo on it. I do like the vents on the side. You do have this shelf that's pretty deep. You can put some stuff in here, including like maybe your cell phone, and of course you do have your regular glove box. Now I gotta tell you, let's start it up. It was about 40 degrees in the morning. It's probably about 70 right now, so let's make sure we don't boil. I'm gonna turn down the radio. All right, so here's what we have. We do have this 9-inch screen. We'll get to it in just a little bit. And the fully digital instrument cluster. We also have this nice leather-wrapped steering wheel. And let's start all the way to the left. So you do have the gate opener. You do have the traction control off. This button right here will turn on the heating elements in the windshield. So it's going to defrost it where the windshield wipers meet the windshield, so in case you are in the area where there's a lot of ice, they're not going to get stuck on it. So the steering wheel, nice size, very nice to the touch. Let's see what we have. You do have the pedal shifters in at the back, and this side over here controls basically your tracks, volume and voice control. On here you can basically set up your cruise control, dynamic cruise control, and the lane keep assist. And at the bottom you do have the button to turn on the heated steering wheel. Now the fully digital instrument cluster, let's see what we have. As far as the customization, right here you have the audio power off. You can have customized display, apps, Bluetooth, USB, Sirius XM, AM, FM, phone, back, and customized display. Let's see what we can customize. That probably is going to just tell us the stuff that we can see or not see, or see the audio and clock on or off. Let's go back here, hide and show. Yeah, and there's a list of features that you can see. They're all checked on right now, so this is what we can choose from. Now, as far as the display on it, this is pretty interesting because it's different, and I'm not sure if you can customize it. We're going to try to do that, but you see the speedometer is on the right hand side, on the very right hand side, right over here. You can also have it displayed in the middle, and the tachometer is on the other side. Now we're in econ mode. Let's see if the drive mode will switch the something in the display. And while we have it, let's check it out. So you have the sport mode, normal, econ, snow, trail, sand, and tow. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different drive modes. So let's see, maybe we can do it right here in the infotainment system. Now I've complained about it, and I know a lot of people did too. It's a 9-inch screen. They did 12.3-inch screen, beautiful screen on the brand new Honda Accord. I'm not sure what's the reasoning behind it, having the smaller screen, but maybe next year Honda's going to surprise us and give us the bigger screen. But this is the new infotainment system. It's actually not the one with the built-in Google like we have in the Accord, but this is the Honda infotainment system. So you have all apps, navigation that comes standard with this vehicle. You also have the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and this is basically your instruction before you actually get to it. And Honda navigation's always been fairly good. I think they're teamed up with Garmin, so that's basically where this vehicle was in the past. So as you can see, the only thing it did is went to the gas station and all around the lot. So it hasn't really left since it got here. And phone, smartphone connection, etc., trip computer, general settings, vehicle settings, USB, Honda Link, clock, smart shortcuts, display mode. You know, here's the general settings of the vehicle. So you have the system, smartphone connection, display. Maybe on the display it's going to give us some other options, but I don't see that here. That's just the brightness, contrast, black level. Let's see, camera, voice control, camera, just the settings of the camera over here. And then let's go back. Let's see, vehicle settings. So driver assist system setup, you have a lot of features. That's part of the Honda Sensing, and that includes forward collision warning distance, head-up warning, adaptive cruise control, forward vehicle detect, beep, road departure mitigation setting, lane keeping assist, suspend beep, blind spot info, traffic sign recognition, speed limit, driver attention monitor, rear sensor setting. So a lot of safety features, driving position setup, keyless access setup, door window setup. Let's see what else we have. Power tailgate setup, maintenance info. Again, I don't see the way to set up this information screen or the instrument cluster in here, so that's probably the only way that you can see it. But anyway, quite a few settings in here, which is good. That's something that Honda's been lacking, in my opinion, for a while, so I'm glad that they're putting more technology into their cars. You do have the power and volume knob right over here. You have the seek and track feature, which is really nice. Again, I wish this display was a little bit larger. And if we put it in reverse, I do like the quality of the camera. Check this out. You can see the detail. You can see the pebbles and the asphalt below. And then you can see the top view of the vehicle. There you go. This is the rear view and the wide. And then this is the rear view narrow. And then let's see what else we have. That's pretty much it. But I do like how this looks. Now, active trajectory lines, and this is the rear view camera, so again, it would look a lot better on the larger screen. Scrolling down below, you do have your vents, hazard lights, and then you have the climate control settings. As you can see, it is a dual zone in the front and the single zone in the back, so it's a tri-zone climate control. You do have the ventilated and heated seats, and then you can control the rear settings from the front or from the back. Down below, you do have the USB Type-C, USB Type-A, regular 12-volt power adapter, a little storage for, you know, small phone maybe, and then you do have the wireless charging. Here's your gear shifter. People love it or hate it. I don't mind it. We have a similar setup on our Pilot. Parking, reverse, right, put it back in park, and then you have a drive, and if you press it one more time, it's going to kind of take you into this sportier mode. So drive modes, we covered that already, and then you have the automatic engine start stop button. You can turn on or off that feature, and then you have the hill descent assist, brake hold, and the parking brake. Pretty large cup holders, and then tons more storage right underneath here. Now if you go up on top, here's your home link buttons right here. I thought Honda kind of discontinued that, but I'm glad that they didn't. You do have what they call, I think, the conversation mirror, so then you can see what's going on in the back. You can also look at the people that you're talking to, and then you have your power panoramic sunroof. So check this out. This is kind of the one button operation, and it's quite large. I do like it that they finally are putting panoramic sunroofs in some of their vehicles. Again, like, they put the panoramic sunroof here on the Pilot, but they didn't make it available on the Accord. They have the 12.3-inch screen on the Accord, not available on the Pilot. I think they're kind of piecing it together, and maybe at one point they're going to come up with everything in one car. Get rid of Acura. Well, that's probably not the case, but yeah, that would be nice if they had those available. Anyways, what else do we have? We have the illuminated mirrors on both driver and passenger side, and that is pretty much it. Oh, did I mention it does have the head-up display? Yep, it does show 0 miles per hour right now, and that is the interior of this 2023 Pilot Elite. Let's take it for a spin. Well, I'm about to take this vehicle for a spin, but before I do that, as always, let's take a quick look at what trim levels are available on the Pilot, because that has changed since they introduced it. So now the base model is the Pilot LX, which wasn't available when they first came out, but now they added it to the lineup. I've been hearing many different things about it. The main one, though, it's that there's such a shortage of components that Honda decided to add another model to their lineup so they can put more cars on the lot, make more vehicles available without some of the premium features that you'll find on the higher trim levels. But anyways, the Pilot LX has a very competitive entry price of $35,950, and I'm gonna take one for a spin very, very soon. Then the next trim level is Sport, $39,150, EXL, which I've done on this channel already, $41,950, Trail Sport, my favorite trim so far, at $48,350, just because it has everything that I need. Touring at $46,450, and $52,030 on this Elite that I'm sitting in. Now, with the destination charge, this vehicle right here, let's take a look at the MSRP. It's $53,375, and there's no added equipment. I mean, what you see, what I showed you in this video, is everything is standard equipment on this vehicle, so it does have a lot of standard features at $53,000. Now, we do have the brake turned on. Let's turn it off. Of course, one thing to mention that's really important is the gas mileage. So even with the increased horsepower, increased size of this vehicle, Honda managed to actually have a slightly better gas mileage than on the outgoing generation. And that's 19 in the city, 25 on the expressway, combined is 21. That's about a mile per gallon better than the outgoing generation Pilot. So that's pretty decent. Now, there's no hybrid options, no electrified options available, no four-cylinder options. A lot of manufacturers are kind of switching to that. Like with Toyotas right now, you can't even get a Highlander with a V6. They're all four cylinders and four-cylinder hybrids. I'm not sure if Honda has the same mentality, but it seems like they like their V6s naturally aspirated. So I like it too. Take it on the road. Well, Well, first impression, merging in traffic, there's no problem whatsoever. It does merge nicely. You sit up higher, great visibility. I think one of the features that any of the SUVs or any of the vehicles for that matter would benefit from is this rear view camera that's going to project the image in the mirror, which this one does not have. Anytime that you have more people sitting in the back, that would be definitely useful. But overall, it's a huge vehicle. It does have tons of room. I feel very comfortable. Now this seat can be even pushed towards the front a little bit more, yeah, like this, and that feels really, really nice. You can also program that into your key. The new Honda key, or pretty much most of the Honda keys in the past even, they're marked driver 1, driver 2. That, of course, if it's equipped with the memory seat settings, and that's basically tells you that if you hit the unlock button, it's gonna adjust the seats, it's gonna adjust everything to the driver 1 position. Now I have driver 2 on my vehicle, my wife has driver 1, so anytime that she unlocks the vehicle and I get in, all of a sudden the seat is right here, so I'm sitting right on top of the steering wheel. But that's a nice feature to have. Actually, all you have to do is just press the button on the side of the door and then it fixes it right away. Anyways, no complaints here, guys. I mean, if there's one complaint, and I've already mentioned that before, that would be to having this a larger screen, and I'm not quite sure. I mean, there's room in here. They left about over an inch on each side, so they could definitely fit in a 12-inch screen. My theory is they wanted to, but they couldn't get the supply of the screens for both the Accords and the Pilot, so they chose the Accord. Now, this is not confirmed. This is just me thinking out loud, so take it as it is, but hopefully next year we're going to see that improvement on it. And overall, a great quality vehicle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around, check out the acceleration, and then we're going to check out some of the braking and turn it around a couple times, make sure it's nice and tight, and then I'll take it back to the dealership. All right, what we're going to do is the quick acceleration test. We're at a 0 sport mode, and let's go. 30, 40, 50, 60. All right, so that's 0 to 60. I mean, definitely no shortage of power there. It does have this nice power delivery, being naturally aspirated. There's no turbo lag or anything like this. The vehicle feels comfortable, it feels good, I like it. This vehicle is a pleasure to drive, it truly is. You know, definitely go to your Honda dealership, test drive it, because it is very smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable. You know, it does have a nice acceleration, it's roomy. So if that's something that you're looking for, don't skip it. Definitely it's one of the top of the mid-size vehicles in my opinion for this year. I think it beats a lot of the competition. But you know, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this? What do you think it can get improved, and what Honda did right, what they might have to work on? Now let's take a quick look at the braking, and you can hear stuff rolling in the back, but not a big body roll, you know, as far as the dip during the braking. And now we have a pretty good cornering. You know, I don't see that, or I don't feel that vehicle being like overly soft, which, you know, is a problem with some of the other vehicles, that if they're too soft, they're just leaning too much towards one or the other side. We're going to do a quick circle right in here. We do have a painted parking spot right in this parking lot over here, so I'm going to turn this wheel all the way to the left, and let's see how many parking spots does it take to turn it completely around. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4.5. That's about what you'll get with this length and this wheelbase, and so it's not bad. It's still pretty tight as far as that. Well, guys, that concludes this walk around and review of this vehicle. I really want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned one thing from this video. If you did, I did my job. And if you like watching stuff like this, check out the rest of my channel. I'm sure you'll find something for yourself. Consider subscribing. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.